Hello and welcome back to Leeds United, where we've got a Europa League final for you today. It's the only match I did finish out the season. That's mostly because, as we were having a lovely 6-3 victory over Aston Villa, Liverpool beat Manchester United and made it all kind of redundant in regards to whether or not we'd actually finish top four. So, as sad as it is for you to have missed a 6-3, 4-2 and 3-all draw with Bournemouth, yeah, kind of bottled that. Thankfully, it didn't matter. Complete rotation, as you can tell by the fact that Pavlovic started the game along with Oscar Gluck. We did deal with Aston Villa and Chelsea before that, which means we did finish up second. Wasn't really any faff. On 73 points. Arsenal 70, Man City 69, Man United 65. Wolves and Newcastle will get European football this year, just because of who's won what. Dominic Szoboszlai with 17 assists, you can see it above my head there. Most of anyone by a clear 5. Moukoko got player of the season at 7.62. Yeah. Erling Haaland should feel slightly aggrieved from the fact he scored 35 goals. I think Moukoko played just enough games to actually get on the average rating list. So, yeah, I don't feel great about that one. But as mentioned, it is his former club Dortmund and Haaland's former club Dortmund, managed by... I didn't know that. Oh, there's so much more in this Leeds versus Dortmund tussle than I first imagined. Bellingham's still there and worth an insane amount of money. So is Sergio Gomez, of course, with his excellent set-piece taking. Although not as much as it used to be, I think. Corners 15, free kicks 15. Yeah, used to tip into the 16s, at least on those. Obviously, some excellent talent there. Adeyemi. Reyna's coming back from injury, so might not actually feature in this because it is today. Schlotterbeck is unhappy. Interesting. Also worth a stupid amount of money. I have no idea why their value is so inflated. I guess ages are factoring in a little bit because Haller here at 30 is worth 8 million, 7 million. Meanwhile, Wahid Fagir at 21 at the same amount of ability is worth 71 to 84 million. Neither contract is up at the end of the year, although Haller's only got one more year on his. Anyone running out of contract that we could nick? No, okay. While I'm here, figured I might as well. Interesting, with an injury to Nicolas Soule, they could be a little bit vulnerable in central defence with Federico Gatti deputising. He's not fabulous. Emre Can at right back as well seems weird. Marius Wolf is available and I would expect him to play there. I know it's the final. Apologies for the lack of suit again. Time is against me. A number of people would agree that your win over Karabakh FK was the highlight of Leeds' run to the final. Is that number one? Because any more than that, frankly, any more than 0 would be an insane amount. We played Betis Atalanta and it's picked up Karabakh. Just got reminded on the news there. For finishing 4th, Guardiola was sacked. Yeah. Brighton back down, Southampton down, QPR obviously down with those 12 points. 2 wins was a miracle. I say Southampton weren't recently promoted. I don't think they've been down yet. They haven't been down yet. Pochettino joined halfway through the season and has gone down with them. He's going to be in the Championship. That's going to be interesting. Right. Day before a European Cup final, Oscar's decided this is the moment he wants to get more playing time for it to get into this national setup. Firstly, he's in his national setup, 12 caps already. Secondly, his actual playing time is not youngster. He has played 11 times this season. Okay, 9 starts, 5 substitute appearances. I mean, physically, he's not fantastic, is he? I thought he'd be better than this by now. Okay, we're expected to win. I'm not sure expected is the right word. The potential, sure. Just going to bring the attention back to this piece of news that came through a little while ago, just to counterbalance that expectation. Almost perfectly third. I mean, it does show you the insane amount of games that we played this season that Julian Ord and Robert Skov have a combined 58 starts between them. I was about to say, somehow right back has one more, but Planart started a game or 2, I now remember. Crazy. We've played, I think, 60 games, and this is 61. And we actually have enough first-team players available to fill up all 12 spots on the bench for the first time, I feel like, in the knockout stages. Karnasecki in goal, and Dicker and Verismo don't apparently get on well together when they play together, but there's a strike between them. Ord, Livramento, fullback, because I was like Aouar, Moukoko, Decatur, and Pedro as our most potent front 3 in the roles available. Milovan could possibly feel a little bit hard done by that he's not starting, maybe. I mean, of course, either way, it is Champions League football because we finished second. And I do need to clarify something I said last episode. I did mention the fact that obviously winning this makes us a top seed opposed to probably a 4th seed. I don't know how that works with the new format. This isn't about getting first draw or 4th draw, but I do suspect winning this does put us in a higher pot for the fixtures in the league stage. I think basically the idea is you probably play 2 of each, Because I know there's 8 league games and I don't know how it works, so I suspect it might be 2 of each, fixture-wise. The equivalent of pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4. But yes, Europa League final. The big orange symbol in the middle. We've done the green one, now it's the orange one. And we're up against the yellow and black of Dortmund. Marcelo Bielsa in charge, of course, as we saw. And it's a thrilling first 20 minutes as we've seen no highlights. There's been 4 shots in total. Few more now. This is one of those moments where I regret doing a 1-game episode. Highlight! Zoboslai, free kick. Pedro's in the back post. He's hit the post. That was the shortest highlight possible, quite frankly. Emre Can. I mean, they're going to get on the end of that. It wasn't a great ball. Slash, it was a great ball. Their player eventually paid attention. And, well, Adeyemi, the one player that hasn't left Dortmund yet, from up front, scores. Of course, wonder kid of last year, who was pretty much more freely available. Dortmund nabbed him in real life, and now he's, well, difficult to prize off them. I was surprised I got Moukoko, frankly. It's always like, Mokoko's there, that's a good save. Carnage, Aouar gathers. Aouar and Livramento have been booked. Ord, highlight has continued. Dicker, Zoboslai, does only score bangers. It's close. Strike. Aouar. Of course, Evan and Dicker, Dominic Zoboslai should be very used to playing Dortmund, and as stalwarts of the Bundesliga up till this point. Well, Livramento cuts that ball out, that could have been dangerous. Can we be sensible with this, please? Zoboslai's been booked. Hey, Jude. Only 15 goals for him this year. His value is insane. But I would argue midfield is the one spot we absolutely don't need any more players in, because Aouar and Zoboslai can carry us. I think an absolute worldie could usurp Aouar, quite frankly, but someone like Bellingham. But I think realistically, there's an 80 million budget waiting for me at the end of all this. I think realistically, if I was going to get a world-class player in, it is central defence / goal, I suppose. I have bought a goalkeeper, obviously, in January, just because of the budget available in January, sort of to see us through the remainder of the season with a bit of potential if we were to carry on. And this is appalling, quite frankly, so far. It's weird because we've not actually been awful compared to them. They've just converted 2 chances. Nketiah finds Pedro. That's nice. Nketiah's going to end on that. Schlotterbeck tackles, but it goes back to Pedro, who just gives it to them. I thought this was a highlight for us. Alas. Bellingham, cut him down. What? Why are you not getting closer to him? I mean, this is madness. Dominic Zoboslai here is bizarre. Just gets close, and then just watches him. Doesn't bother pressing him, doesn't bother trying to tackle him. Neither do the central defenders. None of them step up to try and, cut out that pass. It's quite insane. Moukoko, Ord, Zoboslai, back to Moukoko. If we can get a goal, that'd be nice. Yeah, that seems about right. I'm just checking I didn't have drop-off more left on at some point from trying to stop my central defender from stepping up all the time. Because I want the other two. I want the left and right ones to step up is the problem. I felt like there might have been more to that. But alas, there wasn't. That's gone to Guerrero without really much fuss. I'm just going to pause it there for a moment. Livramento, what in God's name are you doing? You were the person in front of Rafael Guerrero there, and then you ran away. If this results in a goal, I'm going to be furious. Oh, he's got in the way of that, weirdly. His utterly insane movement worked out for him in the end. He might secretly be a genius. Right, Moukoko stops on the edge, pulls it back. Ord finds Aouar, and it's an incredible block. We actually have more XG than Dortmund. I think realistically, with 80 million in the bank, it is a proper replacement for Shutalo and a proper replacement for Meslier in the summer. Because we're probably not going to do too many more seasons of this, quite frankly, so we don't really have the time for Karnasetchi to develop. If he does indeed have that development space. Mamadavishvili, however you pronounce it, certainly doesn't. His potential has completely plummeted. Pedro finds Moukoko. Another block. It cannot be the highlight, surely. Oh, and Adeyemi's through again. Offside that time, surely. No, apparently not. Strike. Again, I need to question what Strike's doing here. Is he off? No. Okay. No, didn't even play him offside. Didn't even attempt to play him offside. He was just next to him when he received the ball. It was on the wrong side of him. What is the point of playing 3 defenders if they do this? This man here is meant to be the one cutting out the pass, and this man here is meant to be the one behind him, all playing him offside. One of the two, don't do neither. Fortunately, everyone's absolutely knackered at this point, so Gagliardini on. Almada on. Pascal Strike's coming off because he's been utterly useless. In fact, I'm changing 2 defenders because can't be dealing with that. I'll leave Livramento on as a red card risk, just because I don't want to make the 5th change as another defender. Almada, free kick. Can we get some dignity back in this? Nope. Slightly confused as to where this is going because, there we go, he had nowhere to go. Cresswell, can you play back to Tino? Yes, you can. Almada can find Pedro. Bear in mind, this front three have scored about 60, 60 goals between them this season. Livramento stops, mugs off the defenders, and it's another ridiculous block. Sometimes it's not your game. That is the 5th, I think, block from within the 6-yard block we've seen highlight-wise. Yeah, 6 block shots. Our XG is 2.22. Theirs is 1.6. Okay, well now we do Christensen. Berate. I mean, this is ridiculous. How have we not scored a goal? I don't care if we've lost here. I mentioned recently, I don't know which game it was, or was it Manchester City, where I felt like we'd actually got FM the most so far in this FM cycle. I'm willing to change that assessment to this game. Their goalkeeper must be on like a 9, 7.5. Congrats to Dortmund. Congrats to Bielsa. Oh well, we bypassed the Europa League winner then, and hopefully, what an excellent angle that is. They didn't think that one through, did they? SI. But yeah, congrats to Dortmund. Not really mad at it, to be honest. They are a good team. I am mad about how it happened. Does anyone do cartwheels anymore? Forgot to pay attention to that in the... someone does a nice little jig. Kobel ends that with an 8.0. Karnasetchi ends with a 6.2 somehow. You got back above a 6. Their 2 wingers clearly did a number on us. Something fundamentally didn't work between our formations there, I think. 2.58 was our XG. 2.58 versus 1.86. I mean, if we're going to round those numbers, that's a 3-2 victory. It's a heavy rounding on our side, but 2-all, 3-2 is the borderline there, and it's finished 4-0 to them. If you've just got Football Manager as a Christmas present, yep, good luck. I keep saying like there was a poor performance. It wasn't a bad performance. We just couldn't score. Still, 4 million, 3 million, 1.2 million. Try and do the maths there. 7, 8. 8 and a bit million in, 3.2 million out. So we've actually made money there. We probably actually would have made less profit if we'd won the damn thing, because the payout would have been higher, but the pay-in probably would have been much better. Oh, and Dominic will miss next year's European competition first game? All right. Well, that was disappointing. Evan and Dicker made it into the Europa League. I take a little bit of offence to the fact that 9 of them are Dortmund players. This is the average rating list. Admittedly, 7 of the first 8 players on this list are strikers, so there's limited spaces there. Bellingham, fair enough. Apparently Modric probably should have been in with a shout of being in that team of the season, along with this chap from Cluj. Damsgaard as a winger for Brentford could have been in there. Chitalo, who left halfway through the season, so that's a bit unfortunate. I'm generally intrigued to see how many of these players are actually in that team of the season. Brandt, Adeyemi, and Bellingham. Not even the one Cole player that was in that list is on that pitch, oddly. Oh yes, homegrown for next year. That's going to be helpful. Andre Santos gains nation. Esprit gets club, annoyingly. We might sell him. The review. Ignore Nathan Baxter, he played 1 game and he was in a cup. Moukoko, indeed, the best of the new acquisitions. £60 million well spent. 20 goals, 13 assists. Maximiliano Gomez with a bafflingly high average rating for his output, but we appreciated his contributions all the same. Eddie Nketiah, 16 million. Surprise bargain, really. Colwell did solidly in the games he played. Aouar from Monterrey. I still don't know how he ended up over there, but 13 million will take. This is a public service announcement. Check Mexico. Because every now and then they acquire someone like Aouar, somehow, and then they're bargains to buy back. Obviously, it happened in real life with Tovan. Brisbane solid. Karnasetchi functioned for 6.5 million. And yeah, that was not 3.5 million well spent for Mamad Dashvili, who was terrible in all the games he actually played. And like I say, his full potential has indeed tanked. It's weird because he's actually not that bad overall in terms of the attributes he has, but he's a very good backup goalkeeper, I'm not going to lie. Although Karnasetchi has developed. If I can get in that last half a star, he could be really good. And if I can get him glasses to fix the vision, that would also be great. I mean, still second though. Trashing Spurs 6-0 was nice. I'm not sure how that is in the match to remember as well, considering. Pedro, most shirts, Aouar, Moukoko, Zobazlai, Almada. Almada sneaking in that, interestingly. And our best 11 is thus. Skov did a better average rating than Ord in the end. Didn't see that. Colwill in our best 3 defenders, which is awkward because he's left-footed. Colwill could use up strike in the first 11, it is worth saying, because strike's potential isn't as good as it used to be. But Gomez, Nketiah, Moukoko is not a surprise. See, that's ridiculous. The fact our front 3 doesn't include Pedro, who scored the most goals in the Premier League for us, or Milovanovic, who also got 18 goals in total. That is ridiculous. Maxi Gomez's bizarre rating is keeping them both out. I need to know what he's actually done to get that. Some insight would be nice there. Player of the season, the young player saying the same. Signing of the season goes to Maxi Gomez. Bargain, quite frankly, for the money we paid as well. Pedro, 22 goals. Top goal scorer wasn't in our team of the season. 22 goals for Pedro, all things considered. 24 assists for Szoboszlai in total. Mele got 13 clean sheets before he demanded to be sold. I'm not over that. And this year's additions to the overall... Apparently our friendlies count as our matches now, because my 100th was fittingly against York, actually. Considering the YouTube progression, that's quite fitting. Yeah, transfer record in, record sale out for Satala, and that's it, apparently. That's it. Overall, best 11 still sees Shatalo in there, of course, along with Mele. The rest of it, pretty much as is. Milovanovic and Almada. Sorry, Nekatir snuck in. I don't know how he's managed that, but... How has Bamford been usurped already? 2 of them we signed this year. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. More family, more fair weather, less hardcore supporters. That will happen with more success. Except the vision... Oh, what was the vision? Next season, top half. Top half finish. There we go. I said be competitive as well. Oh, I didn't get asked about the Champions League. You can't see the options for where we can go. After losing, we'll go to Germany and learn wages to turnover. Okay. Sorry. What's going on with Everton? Oh, did Everton have a takeover? It's the only way that can be explained. Excellent. Okay, so Tycoon missed this. Tycoon at Everton. That's a mad graph as a result. Oh, actually, no, the FA Cup's between Everton and West Ham. Newcastle won't get European football in 7th. West Ham will, off the back of that. Poor Newcastle. Although, they might have someone to steal. Still no European football for Newcastle. I might be able to steal them now. Our reputation might be there. Yeah. Europa League for West Ham, Conference League for Wolves in 6th. That's so unfortunate. 65, 64, 63. Fulham, by the way, absolutely bowled it. You may remember at one point they were ahead of Man City in 4th. Yeah, bowled it. But yeah, still a hefty... But if I remember rightly, Liverpool won last year by a ridiculous margin as well. They did, yeah. Newcastle could still get a European place because I think they still divvy out another place to our division. Because I still haven't looked it up. But yeah, there's the 2 wildcard spots in the Champions League, isn't there? And things like that. So... I don't know. We might still get divvied out another place in our division. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure we're getting anything else in here. So financially, it looks like we've got the end of season money in. 45 million in the bank. Our transfer budget is 80 million. But it's not 80 million though, is it? Because I can't spend more money than we've actually got. You're predicting our loss next season to be 1.5 million, all things considered. So realistically, I've got 40 million to spend. Needs to be in the wage bill, actually. But yeah, you've seen all the major points. The only one leaving us at the end of the year is Marvin Plattenhardt on a free, and I never really like selling him just because he's always been a good servant to me across Football Manager over the years. Bamford and Gagliardini are 1 more year on their contract, and well, I thought Bamford was done, but physically he recovered, and he's a great mentor, but he's certainly not first choice, and he's on a lot of money. Gagliardini, I promised not to sell, I'm pretty certain, at some point, although that promise I think has gone now, so I could try and sell him next year if necessary. But again... Model professional, great mentor. They're nice to have around, even if they are out of contract. Mark Rocker could go. He is professional, but he's not exceptional mentally. So Mark Rocker could go. He barely played this year, I'm pretty certain. 3 starts, 6 subs. Even Gagliardini played more than that. 21 sub appearances. They're the only ones running out in 2026. Everyone else 2027 or later. So that's it for this season. We definitely do 1 more season at least, of course, because we've not won the Premier League yet and we've not won the Champions League yet. So neither of the big ones have been ticked off yet. And do not worry, this series will not end until one of those is dealt with. Barest minimum. Quite often we win one of them and then get stuck on the other, and it becomes a case of we could be here forever just trying to win the other one. So we've won neither yet. So we'll keep going until we win either of them. That's the promise. I do want to say thank you very much, of course, for the support over this series. It does astound me the amount of views comparatively this series gets compared to previous series on my channel. It's quite dramatic, and I want to thank you for all the support on this series, especially during this tricky period and I do want to thank you for that support, especially during this tricky period where it's been a little bit trickier to sort of upload as frequently as I would like. Things should be getting back to normal soon. So as of the new year, we will back to 3 uploads a week. That's the intention. And as of the new year, might be able to stream a bit more. I can't say for certain because there's a few things that are going to get in the way, scheduling wise. I already know on the horizon, so I will have to work around that. I'm hoping not to be a stranger on Twitch quite as much as I have been of late. Apologies. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Until next time. Ta-ra.